Good morning, everybody. This is my fifth and final project with the May Bargain Bead Box. This is what I have left after this project for my beads. So I think I did a pretty good job using them all up. And I have gotten 5 incredibly beautiful sets of jewelry out of it. And I don't take credit for that. I give all that credit to Bargain Bead Box for creating such beautiful curated boxes. They really do a top-notch job curating their boxes. They do a great job putting things together that I would not personally put together, and it's wonderful because it does cause me to get out of my comfort zone and stretch my creativity in a direction that I wouldn't normally have gone, like with the orange from this month's box. That's not something I would have worked in on my own, yet I feel that I was able to work it in and come up with something really, really pretty. And for that, you know, I'm pretty proud of the fact that I was able to work with something not in my comfort zone. And yeah, Bargain Bead Box is really good about giving a mix of beads that, you know, from month to month is going to be a challenge for me or somebody else. You know, I love pinks. I love spring colors, the pastels. Somebody else might find that to be incredibly challenging and love reds, or, you know, whatever the case may be. Every month it's a different box, it's differently curated, it's a different collection of colors and beads and findings, and so from time to time you're going to find a box that really, really stretches your creativity. And as a jewelry maker and jewelry designer, I find that to be a plus, because, you know, we all need to be booted out of our comfort zone, so to speak, every once in a while. And this month did that for me. So yeah, Bargain Bead Box is a beautiful, beautiful, beautifully curated, I cannot speak, beautifully curated box of gemstones and crystals and just findings of, you know, whatever colors they decide to put in for the month. And it's the price is phenomenal. You get anywhere from 16 to generally 19 items, and the price is $22.99. The value generally runs in the like $80 range for, you know, it averages out to be like a value of around $80. You can't beat that. You really can't beat that. It's such a great deal. So yeah, if you've never done the Bargain Bead Box and would like to give it a try, there is a link in the bottom of my video. If you go to the More button at the bottom of my video, there's a link there to give it a try if you want to give it a try. I do also have a coupon code. It is CHAR2, CHAR2, and that will save you $2 off your first month subscription. As a subscriber, you also receive a $30 coupon every single month with your box that is good in their sister store for 30% off everything in the sister store, and their prices are already super, super reasonable. And then you get that 30% off, and honestly, it's the best stash builder I have found. And I have built quite a stash. And most of it is from the Beadbox Bargain site. But yeah, so let's move on to the project we're going to make. This was using up basically what I had left of these little beads, and everything else in here I did have to add myself because I've used up, like I said, I've used up pretty much everything at this point. So these little red bicones you can get in the sister store. They're generally like 99 cents a package for 100 of them. And then there's these little pink, they're like a, I don't know, they're almost a cuboid, but they're also a bicone. But you can get any pink bicone to go with it as well. And again, they have them in the sister store that are shaped exactly like these ones that would work well with this just as well. Just any pink and red bead that matches this month's box will work perfectly. I am going to use a few head pins, a few eye pins. I have a lot of short eye pins here that I created using the cut off pieces of things that I've made. You know, sometimes you make a link and you've got that much pin left, and that's just what these are, little short eye pins that I created from that. So I figured I might as well use them up on these little short sections of linking that I've got here. As you can see, this one here I've put on one. So it's a good way to use up your extras when you cut things off. I also have, let's see if I can find it here, 2 of these gold stud with a loop on them earrings, and all I'm going to do is take, they open up, and all I'm going to do is take and cut this piece off, and they cut off really easily. And now I've got something that I can glue to and create a pair of earrings from. So all I did was take some super glue, and I'm not going to do it here because I'll have glue stuck to everything, but I just put a little dab of glue on this and turned it upside down right onto the bead. I kind of lined it up so the loop was in line with the hole in the bead, just to kind of help hide it a little bit. But that's all I did, and I'll move that now because I have them here to show you. So I did 2 of them and just glued that little stone to it, and now I've got this loop at the bottom that I can continue adding to. So there are my 2 earring pieces. This is essentially, I'm going to change it a little bit, but this is essentially what the earring will look like. I do want to take this one off and put a daisy spacer in it as well. The daisy spacers are also from my own stash because, like I said, at this point I was running out of just about everything, but I did want to use up these little hexagon beads. So this is what I came up with for it. This piece here is going to be a bar style necklace. And what I did was take 5 of these beads and put them on an eye pin. Just like this. And you do have to have a fairly long eye pin. And then I'm going to bend it just like we would do in any kind of simple loop. Trim it down just a little bit here because there's not a whole lot to trim off. And round that loop out. Try to get these lined up. And then at this point I did take and put it on a little piece of paper or something and just dropped a tiny little drop of glue in between each one and let it set up until it became nice and firm. And then I have this bar. It doesn't move, it doesn't wiggle, it's solid, and it makes a beautiful little bar piece for our necklace. I'm going to take this piece off real quick here because I want to show you this as I make it. So I'm going to take that off. Close this back up. And so that is our pretty bar for our bar necklace. So what I would like to do at this point is I'm going to take, I have very, very little left of this chain. Actually, this is exactly what I have left of this chain. And so I'm going to take 2 links here and one link, and I'm going to separate these ones as well. So again, I have 2 and it looks like I'm probably going to have to change what I have in my earring because I didn't figure that out quite correctly, and I do not have anything left. I had to cut a link off, and I forgot about the fact that they had to be cut because they don't open. But that's okay. We will go through the steps of making the earring, and I will finish the other one when my extra chain comes in, because I did order more chain. But we can go through the steps of making it anyway. So this is my thoughts on this, and it's just super simple. I don't know why I have that on a... Oh yes, I do know why. Never mind. These will dangle off this part of the necklace, as I'm sure you've seen in the picture on screen now at this point. And then I have these little crystals that I also want to hang off the chain. So that'll be that part of the bar. And then we will make links all the way up. And again, this is where these little short pieces will come in handy. Some of them are too short, but that's okay. We put them aside for another project. So I am going to put that back on an eye pin, and my pattern is the same as for this one here. It is the red bicone, a daisy spacer, a pink bicone, daisy spacer, and red bicone. And again, we will just make another simple loop, trim that off, turn that, and make sure they line up and they're nice and straight. There. So there's one, and then on this one we're going to do the pink bicone, our hexagon bead, and another pink bicone. And we're going to do the same thing, just a simple loop, trim it down, roll it, and make sure they line up straight. And we're going to repeat this step. Make sure I've got it in the right order here. It's not right either, is it? There. I think that's how it goes. You'd think I would know, seeing as how I created it, but I have taken it apart and done many other things since then, so my brain isn't functioning really well right now because I've had a really, really rough week. I came home from work Tuesday night, and somebody had hit my cat and killed him, and he's my baby. He's my companion, he's my company, he's, yeah. So it was very difficult. A neighbor found him, and brought him to my door, and of course I wasn't home, so he left him by my porch for me. He covered him over and left me a note telling me that he found him and that, you know, he didn't hit him. He did find him. He did want to make sure I knew that, but that he wanted to make sure I had him. You know, I didn't want to just leave him there, which I appreciate so much. I mean, I couldn't thank him enough afterwards. I was like, oh my gosh, that's, you know, the fact that he brought him back to me, let alone that he covered him over so nothing would disturb him while I was gone. And yeah, I'm getting a little emotional now, so I'm not going to talk about it anymore. But yeah, it's been a rough week. So anyway, my brain is just not well focused right now, I guess is my point. So please bear with me. Please be please be kind about the fact that I'm not, I mean, I'm never 100% on anyway. My mind's always all over the place, but anyway, here we go. This is looking really, really pretty. So I'm really hopeful that there may be, I'm hearing rumors, that there may be a day position opening up soon at work, which would really make me happy. I don't mind the night work. It's the drive home for an hour afterwards through country roads in the dark and the fog and, you know, at midnight. I'm not young anymore. My eyes aren't great anymore, and it's just, it's a little nerve-wracking. So I think this is going to be really pretty. I do kind of feel bad that it's really, these beads are the only ones that actually came from the box. Well, no, these ones did too, actually. But it did all come from the Bargain Bead Box, the Bead Box Bargain store. And, yeah, it's, you know, it's little things. It's bicones. You can find bicones in their store all the time. They've always got a great selection of bicone beads. The AB, you know, like some of them are AB like these beads are. These ones are not, but they have a great selection of beads in their store. And I do love to shop it. I love using my 30% off coupon. Makes me feel like I've scored a big deal, you know. I do want to start working on putting kits together again for my Etsy shop. I haven't in the past done really well selling kits in my Etsy shop, so I'm kind of hesitant to, but it's one of the things I really love to do. I love to put together kits and stuff like that, so I may end up doing it again. Some of these get to be on the really short side, so I'm not sure I can use too many more of them. They can go to something else, so I will definitely use them in another project. Oh, we got more McCann. Didn't know that. Oh, those are short too. They're perfect for when you're doing just like a single bead that you want to roll, you know, a simple loop end on, to use these little short pieces that you would otherwise just throw away anyway because they're getting cut off. Like this here, I'm going to be cutting off, you know, I'm going to be cutting off a big piece of it. I'll show you what I'm talking about once I've trimmed it. I've got all that wire left, so I might as well use it. I have to re-roll that a little bit when I get to that point, but so then I just take the end and, you know, create a new end on it, and I've got myself a short little eye pin that I can use for these little sections. And the packages of those little tiny daisy spacers, we did have those at one point in one of our boxes. At that point in time when they came out in the sister store, I did buy probably 3 packages of them, I think. I pretty much used them all up now, but they're in there frequently. It's one of the things they do tend to restock a lot, is little things like daisy spacers and, you know, head pins and eye pins and that type of stuff. So most of my projects with this particular box have been very simple string-in projects, very straightforward, not a lot of excess techniques or whatever, but I think this box worked really well that way. I think it lended itself to very simple, elegant kind of jewelry. Now, maybe next month's box I will see something different. I'll see something that calls for something elaborate and over the top, and because that's always fun too. I was watching, I don't remember what I was watching it on, but I was watching jewelry trends, and they did say that the jewelry trend is shifting. You know, it's shifting from simple fine jewelry to the super chunky I don't want to use the word elaborate. It's not really elaborate. It's just more bold. That's the word I want. Bold. So, something to keep in mind if you're designing for, you know, craft fairs, creating for craft fairs or whatnot, is that the bolder styles, even in like fashion, like your purses and stuff like that, are going to have more bold metal components on them and stuff like that. That is the trend that is coming in. I'm not one to work with trend. I really am not. I make what I like, what I want to wear, and if it's not in fashion, then oh well, I'm not in fashion. I'm too old to worry about fashion. But, you know, if you're selling it in a market or a craft fair or anything, and you're wondering what kind of trend to work with, that is what's really popular right now, or what's becoming more popular right now. So, just a footnote there. All right, I need 2 of those for that one, 3 of those for that one, that, and that. So I think I had enough here to do, and that's why I don't have one down here. I thought there was supposed to be one in here. Perfect. Okay, so I do need to grab two more eye pins. But I did get to use up a lot of those little pieces. Well, that was good. Most of this was made with them. Almost there. Now we just start putting it together. I'm far enough to be in camera. I did rewatch my last video and realized I was working out of camera quite a bit. I do apologize for that. Hopefully there was enough there for you to see what was going on. Honestly, I was just opening links of the chain and feeding on those little dangly pieces, so I think it was pretty straightforward stuff, but I wish I had been up in frame a little bit more so you guys could really see what I was doing. So I know for the new people that are trying to learn, it's hard to decipher what it is I'm doing. So I apologize for that. I generally try to make sure my mat is in a position that I know it's in the middle of my camera and try to keep my hands over my mat. There's that. That's why I had these ones out, I guess. So I need them for this little dangle here. And had them been on a eye pin, I would have used my little short pieces there, but they're not. They need to go on a head pin. Although, you know what? I think, do I want to do that? Put them on a ball head pin and wrap it? No, because then I would have to do those ones as well to match. And I don't want to redo those. I'm just going to come down to the crystal. I actually want to go, because it is a crystal, I want to go just a smidge above it. Just so I don't crack the crystal when I'm rolling it. Crystals can be very soft and they can crack really easy. I did a really lousy job on that one, but let's try a different one. Try doing a little better. I think I'm going to give it my fingernails width. I'm going up a little bit more with my fingernails. My fingernails are just really super strong, so I find it easier. You can see I left a little space. That came out much better. That's a much better looking one. That's okay. I'm going to keep this one on. I'll just try to straighten it a little bit. I think it will work just fine. Alright, so now on this bar, I'm going to open this piece up and I'm going to feed on the double length of chain and the single one right on top of it. Close that back up. I would if I could get it. do the same thing on this one. Figure out which one opens. Alright, then again, bead on the double link and the single piece. Close that up. Alright, now I want it to hang so the double is in the back side. If I can get it to hang correctly. Or on the inside rather than the back side. Do need to close that one up a little more. There we go. So at this point I'm going to hang this from the double one. Both of these. I haven't finished this one yet, I guess. Should do that. I'm going to hang this one here. I think that's going to look really cute. So let's open this up. And we'll hang it from the second link on that double chain. And then maybe get it to lay down. We'll open up this one and we'll put it right on. Now right here at this point you could choose not to put anything, or you could really jazz it up and do a big chain, do like a cluster like I did on the last necklace and hang a cluster on each side, or you know, anything, pretty much anything that you know, appeals to you. Or, you know, like I said, do nothing and just let it be a bar necklace. But I kind of like doing, kind of like the looks of this. So this is what I'm going to go with. Gives it a little bit more drama. Alright, get over there. And these were my last two crystals, so I figured I might as well add them to it. Why not? There. So that is our fancy little bar for our bar necklace. And of course, putting it together now is just opening and closing these little loops we created. You go right into that same one. You want to make sure you stay above those two little links you put in, the chain sections. Close that one up. And then it starts to create this. Get that out of the way, long enough to get that one in there. This loop I made a little too small on this end, so when you're rolling your loop on it, you want to make sure you give yourself plenty of loop. I cut this one a little short. But it will work. I will get it in now. maybe. Say that, and then I probably can't. Here we go. We get it. So I should have gone with a bigger loop like that, but I did end up cutting it a little bit too short and made my loop a little too small there. But it is in there now. So and we are starting to look at now what did I do? Did I loop it through my chain? I think I may have done that. No, I didn't. It's just twisted. There we go. It was just a little twisted there. Okay. There we go. And then all we're going to do is keep putting these on right up through, alternating between these two sections here. This is a very simple little process right here. This is a quick and easy process, just opening and closing these and attaching them. But it makes a really pretty chain piece. I do like the look of these linked together. I think they make a nice chain. And it gets me away from using bead string and wire, which I do use frequently. And I love using bead string and wire, I really do. But sometimes you just need to change it up a little bit. So there's the necklace so far. Quite simple. Still really pretty at the same time. I hope everyone is enjoying their box. Coming up with really creative ways to use their beads. I know I'm not the only one that struggles with orange. I've had a couple of you comment on the fact that orange is a hard one for you as well. So I hope that, you know, using it and coming up with something has helped you. It's helped you have some idea how to use yours as well. I mean, you know, it's a tricky color. It's beautiful. I love orange. I do. I mean, I don't. I'm lying. I'm really not a fan of orange. It is, however, a very beautiful color. It is, you know, the beautiful color of a gorgeous sunrise or sunset, and it is a pretty color. It's not a color I gravitate to in the color scheme of life. If that makes sense. I don't know. Probably doesn't, but that's okay. That's me. I don't make sense half the time anyway. So you could actually do a couple layers of this. You know, you could do this again and make a beautiful ladder necklace out of that. I didn't even think of that, but I'm just looking at it right now and thinking, where's that when I beat it up? I could add that in there like this. That would be really pretty too, wouldn't it? Do a ladder style necklace. There's an idea for you guys. If you wanted to change that up a little bit. But I like it like this. I really do. I think it's quite nice. Again, I'm going to have to use my Rolo chain because, like I said, I still haven't received any more of this chain yet. This is a really sturdy, nice Rolo chain. I do like it a lot. And I am going to clip it right to one of these links. It will blend right in well. It's just about the same color and size, and it will just continue on nicely. And now my tricky little, put it around myself. It's see where I want it, and it's not easy when you have a roll of chain as long as this one. I think I want to keep it somewhat short. I like the bar to be just about at my collarbone. So what have we got? I think it's going to come out just about that same 9 inches as the one I did the other day. Let's see. It's coming out closer to 10. Yep, 10 inches. So that's good and even. Alright, let's take this off here. Oops, out of frame again. Just cutting my chain. Get my chain out of the way. Oh, and look at that, I got lucky enough again to have an uneven link. So all I got to do is cut that one away. Perfect. Oops, that's my other bar. Now, I have to go lobster. Wow, that's a big one. We don't need one that big. There we go. And a decent sized jump ring. That's pretty large. We don't need that big either. And this is how a lot of my jump rings come. They overlap, and that really will not work. So what I always do is go in and put my flush side to the side I want to cut, line it up with my other end, and snip it off. And it's a little better that way. It's not perfect, but it's better than it would have been. At least it will shut against each other now and not distort. So there. Now I need a small one just to attach the lobster claw with. There. That came out pretty cute. That chain right there keeps twisting over itself. Get it straightened out afterwards. There we go. Perfect. So that's a pretty cute little necklace. Again, like I said, if you wanted to add another section in, do this link, say this link was up here instead of that dangle, and put it there, and then put another section down from that. That would be really cute. You know, do something like this afterwards. So that's another option for you guys. Or even take this one and let that be the what dangles here at the end of this. Yeah, I think that would be really cute. I almost want to do that. And I might end up changing mine to that. You know what? Let's just do it for fun. How much time do we have here? We're getting close, but I'm only gonna do one earring, so let's just play. See what it'll look like. Maybe if I can get it open. Afraid if I open it too many more times, I'm gonna end up breaking that metal. Okay, let's get these off here. Maybe. There we go. Okay, now let's put the chain back on. Let's take this off. This is going to be a different necklace than I intentionally planned. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just another option, right? And that is part of the design process, is changing your mind and creating something new. And sometimes while you're creating, what you had pictured in your head and what ends up coming out on your mat, it's not always the same. And this is definitely one of those cases. Alright, so let's put the chain back on. Oops. Put the chain back on. Take that link off here. Close this back up. Put it back on. I've never made a ladder style necklace, so this is kind of cool because, yeah, something different for me. Oh, you know what? That's not going to work. Well, I need to change these so they have a loop on both ends. That was not too smart of me, was it? Yep. There we go. This is me. That's okay. We know how to fix that. There we go. But now I've got to take that one off and do that one as well. I wasn't really thinking that through, was I? Okay. We're getting there. Let's take that one back off. If I can get a hold of it. Come on now. Okay, trim this one off. Those pieces are just flying everywhere. Alright, we'll grab another eye pin because we need an eye at both ends. We do not have to do that on the crystal though, because that one is just going to dangle from the very end of it. So those are fine the way they are. I do have a bunch of new subscribers, and I would like to shout out to all of them. Thank you so much for subscribing and watching my videos and joining me. I do appreciate it. I am working my way to 1,500 subscribers, which is super exciting to me. Alright, let's feed this one on. And you do want to make sure they're both hanging from the bottom of your bar, so you don't have one up where the chain should be and one down where it actually is supposed to hang, because that's something I would do. Let me see if I've got it. I do, indeed. Alright, perfect. Now, let's just hook in this other bar. Of course, I didn't glue this one, so it's gonna, you know, my beads are gonna spin. That's fine. Well, I thought I had that right, did I? Is that right? No, of course not. Of course I didn't. Why would I do that? There we go. That looks a whole lot better. Oh look, I've broken the glue free on these ones. They're spinning now too. Oh well, that's okay. They'll lay flat when they're on you. Yeah, I kind of like this. It's different. Different than I planned anyway. Alright, let's take that link off there. We will just slip him in here. Same thing with this one. So there, I've shown you two options of how to put this together. It wasn't my intent, but it worked out that way, and that's awesome. I'm very happy to have come up with another way to show you. Now if I could just link this on here. There. So there is a whole nother option for you. I kind of like that. I think it's very pretty. I think that's how I'm going to leave it too. So let's move him out of the way, and we will put this earring together. And now I actually have these links free again. I can actually use them. All right, so I need a couple of. I do need to take this one off because I decided after I started to create it that I wanted to add that daisy spacer to it. And you see on this one I didn't, and then on this one I did. I'm gonna have to take that one off now as well and add the daisy spacer to that one. I just think it broke up the beads a little bit, added a little more sparkle to it, but it's super simple. It literally is just putting these two bicones on with a daisy spacer in between them and doing a simple loop. If your head pins or eye pins that you're using are not strong, you can always do a wrapped loop. Mine are very strong, and I'm just working with a simple loop. Okay, at this point I'm just going to open this up, attach one of these two pieces, get up there. And there's the short one, and put that up there with that one because I know that's going to go onto that one. See how much pin there's going to be left on this. That's, you know, it's such a waste to have to throw them away. So definitely cut them. I mean, roll them into an eye pin and use them on your little short projects. Short one like this that needed a loop would be, they'd be perfect for that. This one does not need a loop, but there. And if you have earring backs that do not have a loop on them, you can always run through the hole in the bead. I don't know if you can see it very well or not, but these beads do have the hole in them, so you could always run something through that hole and create a loop. My backs do happen to have a loop attached. Okay, here we go. Now I've got the longer one and the shorter one. I've got this little 4mm jump ring, and I'm just going to pick up my small one, short one, pick up my longer one, and with the short one in the front, attach them to that loop, and as simple as that, my earring is done. So there is that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please drop me a comment, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, consider subscribing. We'd love to have you joining us and commenting and just following along. And it does help to grow my channel, and you know, that's always something that's much appreciated from you guys, because I do want to stick around here with you. And if you want to stick around with here with me too, that is greatly appreciated. But thank you guys for joining me. Yeah. There it is. What more can I say? Thank you guys. Love y'all. Bye.